hair and those arms and look
And
at
the controls are like more,
So, is this what you
it's,
usually look like?
I want to say a lot tighter controls.
this is the real
Because,
thing.
I mean,
Pretty cool, huh?
the older Sonic games
Where'd you
were
go?
like, and if you're not a Sonic fan, this is not gonna make any sense at all to you. I'm sorry, but you know the older 3D Sonic games like Sonic Adventure and stuff. No, just the adventure games really. Were trying to do Genesis physics, so to speak, on a 3D environment, and it had bugs and glitches, but it actually worked really well. I mean, the controls were really good and all, but you know, it wasn't perfect though. I mean, like I said, it had bugs and had a few weird things. Let me turn down the volume real quick.
Oh, I love
There you go. And you know, it worked, but there were things about it that just wasn't right. And this game, you know, it tries to fix a lot of those problems, and it does it really well, but they had to like change the style of control for this game. You know, it's not as free roaming. It's more like it's tighter. The level design is tighter. It's more, you know, a little more on rails, but it's still got like, you know, multiple pathways. It's still got platforming, not as much in this game as in like say Colors or Generations or anything, but or from the looks of it, Lost World. Although that game also has a different style of control, but you know, I think, you know, I would have liked to see the adventure style controls in a newer game again. Because they almost got it right in the adventure games, but you know, I understand it'd be really hard to do that, and so I was totally fine with this style of gameplay, the boost gameplay, because it works really well for Sonic in a 3D environment, and yeah, but the biggest problem I have with the daytime stages, though, is it's a little too speed happy, I should say, because this game focuses, the Sonic stages at least, focus more on speed than like platforming or yeah, platforming, as in like adventure or heroes and stuff like that, or the Genesis games, I should say. It's more like moving forward. It's trying to. The game really pushes you to move forward, and there's not that much platforming. That's the only. It's the only real problem I have with the. It's not that big of a deal to me, but it's the only thing that could have been better in these stages is that it could have had more platforming or alternate pathways that you can take, because it's pretty linear, you know. Like I said though, they're still awesome, but you know, as you can see, they're pretty. They're very. Yeah, as you can see here, it's like a straight path, almost. You know, not all the levels are like that, but you know, it could have had more platforming and but then again, though, I mean, this was the first time they were trying out this new style of control, so, you know, it makes sense that they didn't really do that. So, yeah, I mean, if you're not a Sonic fan, none of this would make sense to you, so, okay, for those non-Sonic fans, I'll explain this gameplay in a more basic way. So, as you can see here, it's daytime, and you're playing in the daytime. You're playing as Sonic in his normal form, and the gameplay here is exactly what you'd expect from a Sonic game. You're running fast. You're collecting rings. You're, you know, jumping on platforms. All that stuff. Oops. The controls, you know, you can jump, you can use the boost, which is a new thing in this game that I was just talking about, and you can here. I'll just show the controls right here. You can jump, you can slide or crawl. There you go. You can slide. Use that to get through narrow passages like that. You can boost by pressing the H or B button depending on what system you're playing it on. While you're running, you can use one of the triggers to do a drift, to drift around tight corners. You know, you've got grind wheels, you got the homing attack by jumping and pressing the square button to home in on enemies. And then as you go through the game, you also unlock new moves, which I will explain them as they come. And not much else I can say about that really. It's you know, it's Sonic. It's exactly what you'd expect. You've got your speed, you've got your platforming. Not as much in this game as you would expect from a really good Sonic game. And you've got some alternate pathways. You know, like I said, not that much in this game particularly, but it's still there. And yeah. And another thing, I guess I could explain are the Sun and Moon medals you've been seeing. Who am I kidding? It's hard to see them. But there are things in this game, Sun and Moon medals, that they put in this game. Basically, what they are is like if you collect enough. They're basically like keys, sort of. Like you have to unlock certain levels in the game, you have to collect like a certain amount of Sun and Moon medals. You know, you have to. I believe you have to collect a certain number of Sun medals to unlock daytime stages, and Moon medals to unlock nighttime stages. And that's another thing I kind of don't like. You know, they could have just done away with that. I kind of think it's like a dumb way to force people to go back to stages they've already completed. But if you keep an eye out, most of them are in the nighttime stages at least. They're really obvious, and if you just get them all in the nighttime stages and in the hub worlds, and you don't focus too much on them in the daytime stages, you should be fine. So, and the reason I didn't back out of this yet is because I want to explain this as well. This is what you see right here is the level up system. See, as you, when you beat a level, depending on like how many enemies you beat, I think that's just what it is. How many enemies you defeated, you gain experience. And for regular Sonic, you can use that experience, you can spend it on speed and ring energy. When you spend enough experience points on speed or ring energy, you level up that attribute. You know, for speed, when you level it up, Sonic can go faster, obviously, and for ring energy, it fills up your ring meter, or your boost meter, I guess. So that because to use the boost, you have a boost meter, which is filled up when you collect rings and defeat enemies. And when you spend the experience on ring energy, you can increase the maximum amount of the boost meter that you can use. And that's pretty much that. And then the Werehog also has his own attributes, but I'll explain that when I get to that. That's another thing. I also really like the story in this game.
Don't worry about it. Maybe your
You know,
memory will come back
I know a
next
lot of
time.
people didn't really like the darker direction that Sonic took.
No.
I mean, for games with Shadow the Hedgehog and Sonic Next Gen, I can get down on that because I mean, well, Shadow the Hedgehog story I kind of did like actually. I mean, I didn't like the fact that a lot of the endings weren't canon, and there was only one canon ending, so most of the storylines meant didn't really mean anything. But I mean, like the last story segment, just like the canonical storyline, I guess, in Shadow the Hedgehog, I kind of liked it. It wasn't that bad, really. Sonic Next Gen story though was just stupid. It was crap in every aspect of the word.
It's hopeless. The whole planet is split apart.
But this game's story, it still kind of takes a dark turn, but it's a bit more lighthearted as well. It's kind of a good mix, I think. You know, it doesn't take itself too seriously, but it's also not that. It's also not that comical. You know, it's a mix between the two, and it works really well, I think. You know, it's not my favorite Sonic story. I like Sonic Colors' story more than this, but you know, it works really well, I think. And I enjoy that. I really like the Chip, the purple, you know, that purple floating thing you see. That his name is Chip, and he was a new character introduced in this game, and you know, I really like him. He's a really good character. He's there for comic relief for like the first half of the game or so. He becomes more important later on, but we'll get to that when the time comes. I think it was a cool character. It's just kind of a shame that this is the only game he's in, but you know. And yeah, just the story overall in this game, I think it's well written, you know. It's not too dark, it doesn't take itself too seriously, and, you know, I think it works, and I really like it. You know, I think this is kind of an example where, see, what I'm doing right here is I'm just looking for the two sun medals that are here, but anyways. You know, I think this game kind of shows that you can do a sort of a darker Sonic storyline and make it work. You know, you can do that. It is possible. And this game, I think they did that well. You know, I know, like, later games, you know, Sonic Colors, Generations, and definitely Lost World, from what I see of it, I can already tell that they're much more lighthearted, you know, very, very basic storyline, you know. And really comical, and you know, I like that. Yeah, it works really well for Sonic, but I think, you know, this game in particular shows that darker storylines, as long as it doesn't take itself too seriously. I'm looking at you, Sonic Next Gen. You know, I think it can work for Sonic if done right. And personally, I think I might kind of want to see another Sonic game, you know, someday. Maybe try to do a story like this. Maybe? I don't know. Overall, I would just love to see another adventure style game. To be honest, but you know, for what we have right now, you know, Colors and Generations, they're fantastic games, you know, in their own rights, and Sonic Lost World just looks phenomenal, so you know, I can't really complain. But still, after Lost World, I think I would like to see a Sonic Adventure 3, maybe. But if it doesn't happen, then I'm totally cool with that. Just as long as the next game is also really good. On, all right, here we're getting into the nighttime. Here we're getting into the Werehog gameplay.